Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Eric Johansson, a teacher with LSAT Demon. Joining me is Nathan Fox, the co-founder of LSATdemon.com and the weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We have an email from Anonymous.
Says, "Hi, Nathan and Eric. I hope you are well! Exclamation point. I wanted some advice with regards to how to proceed with my process for the LSAT. I took the June LSAT since the games were going away and I scored a 150. I studied for about 5 months and I was quite disappointed with my score. However, I've been studying ever since the day of my June LSAT and have decided to listen to your advice of signing up for the test when I'm happy with my practice test scores." Okay, excellent. Very glad to hear that. Not everybody, listens to our advice, but there's real simple math here, which is just wait until you like your practice test scores, then sign up for an official test. There's just no point signing up for official tests when you're miles away from your goal. And it sounds like Anonymous was miles away from his or her goal, because they continue and they say, my goal score is about a 174 and I want to apply next fall. Uh-oh. Now I'm going to get worried, though. I'm shooting for the October test, and I know your advice is to push it one more cycle if you have to submit later with a higher score. However, I'm unwilling to push it one more cycle, and I really want to start law school in 2025 with the highest LSAT I can possibly get. I am really set in stone on using the demon approach, and I appreciate your work. I would love some insight into how to move forward with this process. Thanks, Anonymous. Boy, what do you do with a student who says how much they want to follow your approach, but also explicitly refuses to follow your approach?
Yeah. Well, I think Anonymous needs to realize that when you say you're set in stone on using the demon approach, that is not just about how we approach logical reasoning or how we approach reading comprehension or certain question types. The demon approach is also don't take the test until you're ready.
Right.
Because you mention wanting to get your best score and also wanting to apply next cycle.
Yeah.
You get to pick one of those things.
Right.
You don't, well, I mean, okay, maybe it all comes together for you, but I'm not confident that you're going to improve by 24 points by this fall. So realistically, pick one of those things.
Not only that, but your strong desire to take it in October and apply this cycle. By the way, taking it in October is already kind of later than I would like you to take the test and apply this cycle. I think
you're probably going to miss some first admissions rounds.
Most people need multiple attempts anyway. So, Anonymous, I'll give you the tough love, which is you insisting on shooting for the October test and insisting on shooting for this cycle. It's actually hurting your prep. You're not gonna get your best score if that's your attitude. You need to listen to us. You need to follow our actual advice, which is this. It's very clear. Don't take the official test until you're happy with your practice test scores. That means stop shooting for any potential test. Stop shooting for any potential cycle. Maybe you get it done. Maybe it happens for you. I hope it does. I sincerely hope it does happen for you. But I'm telling you, with 17 years of experience, I'm telling you that students who shoot for specific tests and specific timelines, they get in their own way. You're going to be pushing it. You're going to be rushing. You're going to be thinking about admissions instead of thinking about the test. You're thinking about, I've got to get it done right now. I really hope that this is the test. I'm going to sign up for the October test, even though I know I'm not really ready. You're going to take the test knowing that you're not really ready because your practice tests don't lie. You're going to be looking at practice tests that are like, 162. Yeah, but I'm going to get a 174 anyway on the October test. No, you're not. You're not going to outperform your practice tests by 12 points on your official test. That's not how this shit works. So you can either follow our advice or not follow our advice. And I'm not mad about it, but the answer here is very clear. calm down, slow down, stop rushing yourself into the beginning of your legal career and potentially a lifetime of debt and a JD from the wrong school. Slow down, focus only on the LSAT, let admissions go, let the cycle go, and work on your practice tests. You need to be thinking about the test, and that's it. Not not the official test. You need to be thinking about the practice test, your practice questions, reviewing your mistakes. And if you think about anything else, including my goal score is a 174 and I really want to apply this cycle, those thoughts just interfere with your actually absorbing what you need to
Hmm.
absorb about the meaning of the words on the page and the meaning of these questions. And I've just seen so many students bash their head against stone walls
Hmm.
because of this approach.
Hmm.
What you're going to do is you're going to end up wasting another official attempt. You're going to end up putting another mediocre score on your record. You're still going to end up having to push to the next cycle anyway. It's just not going to work out for you if this is your plan. Now, if you change your plan and if you decide, okay, I'm going to be patient, I'm going to focus only on understanding these questions, I'm going to do practice tests periodically, I'm going to keep track of my scores. And when my scores indicate that I'm ready, that's when I'm going to sign up for the official test. If you take that attitude, then one of these days you're going to see a score on a practice test that justifies you signing up for an official test.
Hmm.
And that might happen by August, whatever, which is the sign up deadline for the October test. And if it does, then I give you my full blessing to sign up for the October test. But if it doesn't happen, then you have no business signing up for the October test. It's wishful thinking. It's just magical thinking.
Yeah.
Am I being an asshole? Maybe.
No, no. I think, I actually, I debated putting this email on our agenda because I feel like it's just something we have to say over and over again.
It is.
And it feels repetitive, but we keep getting these emails and we keep getting new students who haven't heard this message before, but it's probably the single most important thing that we can tell you other than just slow down and understand what you're reading. It's
Yeah,
just
I agree.
separate your admissions timeline from your
Yeah.
improvement on this test. We get these emails, and it's not just emails, it's students in class asking questions about, okay, well, I understand your approach and I understand that we're supposed to be patient, but if I wanted to hit this date, what do I do
Right.
to get to where I want to go as quickly as possible?
Yeah.
And I tell people, look, we're already teaching the LSAT the best we can.
Right.
Well, we're getting
Right.
better at it and we're looking for ways to
Right.
improve, but it's not like we're holding something back. And only if you really ask again and again, no, I need to go faster. Like I'm a special case. Like then
Right.
we'll give you the special sauce that gets you somewhere
we
quicker.
would have given it to you in the other way
Right.
first if
Yes.
that was the best way. I mean, what you're asking us to do is to give you LSAT advice that's worse than the normal LSAT advice that we give.
Yeah.
And we're just not going to do that. We're not going to lie to you. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. If you try to do it this way, it's going to hurt you. And so please, if you're listening to the show, which I really appreciate, and I appreciate you writing in, uh, I hope that you will just hear me when I say you need to be focusing only on the test, only on the questions themselves. When your practice tests indicate you're ready, that's when you should sign up. If you sign up anytime before your practice tests indicate you're ready to sign up, then all you're doing is you're adding pressure, adding anxiety to one of your official attempts. You're doing so without really any justification because your practice tests clearly tell you that you're not where you want to be. You're going to go in and take the official test in a higher pressure situation with less preparation than you normally would, and it's unlikely to go well. When you do that, then what it's going to do is it's going to put a mediocre score on your official record. It's going to burn up one of your 5 official attempts. And now you're going to be in a position where, okay, I've taken it once and I got a 150. I was clearly unprepared. Then I took it again and I got a whatever, another mediocre score. Now I only have 3 official attempts remaining instead of 4 official attempts remaining. Now I'm even later in the cycle. And I only say this from experience. I've just seen hundreds of students do it this
Mm,
wrong way. And many people, it's because they got bad advice from some pre-law advisor or their family or friends or whatever, and
yeah.
they just think that this is how you're supposed to do it. It's counterproductive. So,
Yeah.
and I've seen too many students go through this process where they end up with only 3 attempts remaining or only 2 attempts remaining or only 1 attempt remaining, no good scores on record, a lot of
Yeah.
stress, a lot of drama. They've wasted a bunch of money on official test attempts when their practice tests are just sitting right there going, "Hi, I'm a 155. I know
Yeah.
you want a 174."
Not to mention wasted time and money on LSAT prep
Yeah.
if those months that you were studying,
Oh God.
you were compromising your prep because
For
you were trying to do
example,
it this way.
people like to force in tutoring at the last minute.
Yeah.
Like, y'all, we get so many tutoring requests in the last 2 weeks before an official test.
Yes, we
That's
do.
not the time to do tutoring. Are you kidding me? You should be you should be doing tutoring once. I mean, I really think that you should be using tutoring to put finishing touches on, not to be like reinventing your score. But that's
Yeah.
not what these people look like. These people aren't like, oh, okay, I just have some points of clarification. I'm happy with my practice test scores, and now I want to talk to a professional about a few few points. No. People come to us with, oh, okay, I'm scoring 155 on my practice tests and I want a 175 and I'm taking the test next week. What do I do?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what you do is you unregister yourself, you withdraw from the upcoming test, is my professional advice, because it's just not going to happen like that. We
Yeah.
don't sell magic beans here. We're
Yeah.
giving it to you straight. And if that means you walk away and do LSAT tutoring somewhere else, that's fine. I'll be able to sleep at night because I won't have, sold you some bogus dream.
hmm It's like,
Um,
I mean,
yeah,
it's like an athlete. The Olympics are coming up, so it's like a track and field athlete. Let's say it's a 400-meter runner
yeah,
who goes to their coach and says, "Hey, coach, the Olympics are 3 weeks away. Right now I'm running 400 meters in 55 seconds, but I'd really like to run it in 50 seconds. Let's get there in 3
yeah.
weeks. How do I do that?"
No.
And the coach is like, "No, people train for years,
Yeah, you spend your life doing that.
and maybe you shave those
Right.
5 seconds off."
Right. I know that people, especially because I don't know what your diagnostic was, Anonymous, but assuming that your diagnostic was somewhere in the 140s or something, you should be able to get into the 160s and maybe even into the 170s.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what kind of a timeline you're going to get there on. And I do know that if you try to force yourself to do it on any specific timeline, the added pressure, the added anxiety is going to make it harder for you to absorb the actual knowledge and practice that you need in order to achieve your best score. So, also, there's just no good reason to force it this cycle, by the way.
Mm.
You notice that Anonymous doesn't give any reasons. That's because there aren't any good reasons.
Yeah.
Anonymous just says, I really want to start law school in 2025.
That was something I was going to say, Anonymous, was I think you need to sit down with yourself for a little while and really examine what are your reasons for wanting to apply this early. I mean, just think about them. Actually articulate them to yourself. What are your reasons that you want to rush this process? And be honest with yourself and list them out, and then ask yourself, are those reasons good? Are they
Yeah, they're
worth
not.
making the kind of score
We,
sacrifice that it would take?
we have previously debunked all of the reasons that you're going to write down, Anonymous, but I do think that the exercise is worth it for you. I can just tell you again from experience that, pressure from your family, not a good reason. Oh, my friends are already in law school, terrible reason. I hate my current job, awful, terrible reason.
I don't know what I would do with the extra year.
Yeah.
Not a good reason. I'm worried about one less year of earning potential as a lawyer.
So therefore, I should rush into this and waste tens of or hundreds of thousands of dollars on law school tuition.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good reason. everybody thinks, because I think really what it is people just they've grown attached to this idea. Maybe they've mentioned it to some friends and family. Now the friends and family are asking them about it. Now they're
Yeah.
feeling this external pressure. It becomes part of your identity that I need to get myself into law school right now.
Hmm.
Trust me, you don't need to get into law school right now. Wait another cycle, wait another 2 or 3 cycles. Figure out if this is something you really want to do while also working on achieving your very best LSAT score. Then apply early and broadly. Then watch all of the amazing offers roll in, and you're choosing from multiple competing great offers instead of, taking the best that you can get with a mediocre score in the middle of the cycle and you only applied to a few schools. That's just the wrong way of doing it. That's a recipe for overpaying for an overpriced JD. We want you to pay the right price for the best JD you can get. And that always starts with the very best LSAT you can get. I just got today, or yesterday, I guess it was, I got an email from one of our former LSAT demon teachers
Mm.
who is now graduated from law school and is applying to the bar in
Hmm.
Texas. And
And
I was
you
shocked.
thought, oh wow, it took you that long? Feels like that was forever
Yeah,
ago that I was
right.
working with you.
No, I was like, what? I thought she still works for us. Or like that was yesterday that she was teaching for us.
Yeah.
And no, no, she went to 3 years of law school and the time just flies. It goes faster and faster the older you get. And I promise you, we've also gotten dozens, hundreds of emails from people who have said, I'm so glad I waited. I ended up with such a great offer because I waited. At the beginning of this, I thought I had to go right now. I pushed it 1 cycle and I thought I had to go in that next cycle, but then I pushed it another cycle. And what happened was the test opened up to me.
Mm.
It got easier. All
Mm.
of a sudden, I realized that I was overcomplicating it. I was putting all this pressure on myself. Once that anxiety bubble deflated, then all of a sudden, now the test started to make perfect sense because the test does make perfect sense. If you read what it says, if you understand what it actually says, the test makes perfect sense. And next thing you know, you start scoring higher than you even thought was possible. But you can't do that and force yourself to do it on any particular timeline. There's a clear analogy, by the way, to people who try to compromise accuracy and speed on their tests, or
Yeah.
they try to pursue both goals at once. Like, well,
Yeah.
I know that you've said I need to take my time and make sure that I'm solving the questions and get them right, but I also want to finish the sections.
Hmm.
And it's like, yeah, I know, but you can't do both of those things at once unless you focus on the accuracy first. If you focus on the accuracy first, then the test will get easier and you will go faster without even trying. If you try to do accuracy and speed at the same time, speed kills. If that's your goal, speed kills.
Yeah.
So if you're also forcing yourself to try to finish the sections, it's just going to put more pressure on your ability to understand what the questions are actually saying. And now you're half-assing it. You're 50-50 guesses all the time. You're not really understanding. You're making all kinds of casual mistakes. You go back and review your mistakes and you're like, oh, I just misread that one. Oh, yeah, I just misread that one. And it's like, yeah, I know. I know you did. And the only recipe for fixing that, it's a very simple fix, is you just have to let go of the idea of finishing the sections, let go of the clock, let go of your admissions timeline, and instead just devote yourself to really solving one question at a time. I will shut up.
Thank you, Anonymous.
I do appreciate the email. Yeah.
Yeah, really appreciate it. And please write back in. I would love to answer more questions about the LSAT, about how we can help you get better at the LSAT. This is one part of it, giving up your timeline, but the way you're going to get better is by, like Nate said, letting go of this and getting one question at a time correct. So
You could
let's get
also
back to
push
that.
back about your specific reasons for why you really want to start law school in 2025.
Yeah.
But you just can't. It's like you have a paradoxical sentence here. I really want to start law school in 2025 with the highest LSAT that I can possibly get. Well, the highest LSAT you can possibly get may or may not happen in 2024. And if it doesn't, then you
Yeah.
need to take the LSAT again in 2025. Don't force yourself to take it in October as like be all, end all. This is my final attempt because I have to apply right now. Instead, maybe you take it in October, but you're also planning on taking it in November, December, January, whatever, because you've still got 4 more official attempts. And you should be planning on exhausting those official attempts if necessary to get your best representation of what you can achieve on your official record. But write us back and tell us why you think that it doesn't apply to you. We'd love to hear from you. By the way, we are daily at lsatdemon.com if you want to send us that update, or if anybody else out there wants to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.